Hello everyone and welcome back to the Great Book of Grudges. My name is Nathan and we're back with another mod review, a brand new faction mod recently dropped, which is the Knights of Origo faction Overhaul by Gibraltar. This is if you like Bretonnians, but you want to play in a more inspired style, very reminiscent to some recent lore changes in Warhammer Fantasy. In short, if you'd like to crusade, this is the time to crusade. It does work very nicely with the Araby mod. In fact, it is actually very much encouraged to have it. So, let's talk about the faction effects and lord effects. As you can see, faction effects, defensive supplies, plus 250 faction wide. You're going to be quite defensive here. Casualty replenishment, plus 5% when in foreign territory. No chivalry penalties when in raiding stance. Yep, you're going to be here to liberate Araby, and sometimes you're going to just want to liberate their coffers, if you know what I mean. Income from raiding plus 25% for all armies. Construction time minus 50 for defensive buildings faction wide. Passive ability Frenzy for Knight Lords, Embedded Paladin Heroes, and Knight units in Lord's army. And for the Lord effects, we have Chivalry plus 4 per turn. Minus 25% upkeep for Knight units in Lord's army, leadership plus 5 when attacking with Lord's army, and melee attack plus 5 when attacking with Lord's army. You're going to be quite an aggressive faction here, and the good thing is it is compatible with Mixu's Legendary Lords in case you want to use it. You do also have an ally with Repons right next to you, but let's check out the campaign. So we're starting off in Zandri, which does mean that to your left you've got a few possible allies, and then to the south you've already got one Tomb King faction at war with you. You've got Scarbrand, Wurzag, and the Top Knots, which are eventually going to become a problem. I'm not using the Araby mod here, but you are more than able to, and it just adds to more roleplay for that. But we got to start talking about some other things, like for example, your Legendary Lord. He is a Knight on Foot, and you're going to be seeing quite a lot of Knights on Foot, with a unique skill line here focusing around just doing extra damage against any undead factions and so on, and just being very aggressive. So you've got the skill line there, which gives you Purifier, extra charge bonus, hit points, melee defense. He's a very aggressive character, and he'll be dismounted from the very beginning. Eventually you can actually get him on a barded warhorse, Royal Pegasus, or a Hippogriff. But yeah, this is your I want to go around, I want to start hitting as much damage as possible, I want to increase the leadership of my faction when defending, for faction wide, extra ward save, being able to have Unbreakable 2 is actually very, very useful. You do have access to one item that you'll be getting at rank 14. It does take a little bit of time to get there, but the main thing is you've got the extra bonuses coming in, so it's not too much of an issue. It is a very powerful item though, getting magical attacks, flaming attacks, and also increased weapon strength. He does look quite good too. Very, very themed for what this is. You'll also be starting off your campaign with a legendary hero. This is a character which is going to focus very heavily on doing a lot of damage once again, because he has a great weapon. Yes, we're going with that type of Bretonnian, which is always nice to see, with a small unique skill line focusing around giving fear to your knights, which is also very nice, increasing armor-piercing weapon damage also, and giving you the Blessing through Fire, and also very big physical resistance bonuses towards your knights once again, both on foot and mounted, because foot knights are going to be included here. There is a unique item with this character also, which is going to take to turn 15, rank 15, sorry. But again, very, very useful. The character is going to be doing a lot of damage from the start. He is going to start dismounted. He doesn't have access to a Hippogriff, however, though. He only has access to a barded warhorse. I do prefer him on foot. That is very much dependent on your own specific playstyle, but I feel like great weapons do very, very well on foot. That, and to be honest, I haven't seen too much of a reason to use questing knights. Maybe that's just me. It is important to note that you'll also be making use of the mechanic that Repons has too, that's the desert supplies, because, well, you're fighting in the desert, so it makes a lot of sense to use that. This is a good thing. I like it when mods reuse mechanics where it is not only applicable, but also just makes a lot of thematic sense. Plus, you're going to be finding whatever excuse possible to get Repons into your army by Confederation, so yeah, the mechanic is going to come over, and it's going to feel like you're playing Repons, but with a little bit of a twist. Now you do also have access to a brand new building, which seems to be available in both minor and major settlements. This is the Fortress Monastery, and what it does is, well, a lot of things actually. It increases the unit capacity for your Knights of Origo, Squires of Origo, It also allows you to be able to recruit from there directly, so that's the Knights, the Squire, and the Knights on Foot. Alongside that, the building is very much there for a lot of defensive capabilities, increasing leadership under siege, reducing enemy corruption, reducing the attrition that you're suffering, and also increasing your supply. You do also have access to prayers here, which means that you'll be able to remove negative traits. Well, at a chance, there's a 15% chance there, but it's pretty damn good, and at the end of the day, this is what you're going to want when you're dealing with a lot of undead and maybe some chaos factions, which are going to start providing some negative traits. Now, there is more to this. This is the great thing. You do have access to a brand new generic lord type, and this is going to be something that you're going to be seeing fairly often. It's called a Order Master, a Marshal. It's very much the same as a Bretonnian Duke, but you do have the different theming there. You do have a extra few skill points there to focus it around being the Crusader that's going to be doing a lot of damage. It does look very cool. If you're a very big fan of like the whole Kingdoms of Heaven situation, that's probably going to be something that you're going to be wanting to take. Again, focusing very heavily on boosting up Foot Squires, your Knights of Origo too. These are specific faction style units, and yeah, I mean, it's going to be the one that you're going to focus very heavily on theming. I think stuff like that is really important. They'll start off dismounted. You can get them on a barbed warhorse, but you can't get them mounted on a flyer. You're not going to be using a lot of flyers here if you want to have a little bit of fun. There's also a unique vow that you have access to with them, which is only available to the marshals themselves. This is the Crusader's Vow. The Crusader's Vow is, yeah, sack 5 settlements. It's very, very basic, but it's going to give your troops the passive ability to earn your spurs. That's for the Knights Errant. You're also going to be able to get Crusader Zeal for your army. Extra post-battle loot because you are raiding here, alongside of reducing the upkeep for Knights Errant, Knights of the Realm, the Pegasus Knights, because you can use them every now and then, and increasing your leadership aura size. Again, as you can tell, very Crusader focused, and this is very similar to what we've more or less got right now with Warhammer the Old World with the Crusading Knights list. So, in the mod, you get access to the brand new Lord, you get access to the 2 legendary characters also, but also some generic units. So you get some Knights of Origo. These ones have a little bit better stats than the standard Knights, and also they've got a very interesting effect known as Peace and Justice. You'll be seeing this throughout all the units in the mod, essentially making them much stronger the longer that they're in combat, which is actually really, really good. It's giving you that Crusader feel. All of the units look really, really good, especially the Knights on Foot, where you've got that, again, Kingdoms of Heaven feel to it, and I guess a lot of people are going to quite like it for the Deus Vult memes. The archers are also fairly decent also, which means that you'll be able to have a decent amount of combat capabilities. Obviously, keep in mind that these units are under a capacity, so you're going to have to increase that, but they work extremely well when you're dealing against a lot of undead, when you're dealing against demons, and pretty much everything that's going to be thrown at you in the Southlands. So I'm going to showcase them in combat here in a randomly generated army for the Tomb Kings. I'm just using the units added for the mod because I feel like they're fairly decent in their own right, and, you know, randomly generated when it comes to modded units doesn't always showcase what you're gonna get, right? Also keep in mind that yes, you are more than able to start using like Pegasus Knights, Trebuchets, and every other unit, because at the end of the day you want to fill out your roster a little bit. It's supposed to be a supplementary thing with its own unique style, very similar to Fire in the Grim with the Mistwalker units. It's pretty much that idea, and I think it works extremely well. A faction specific unit, when it's, you know, lore friendly, or just when in the case of a mod, just to differentiate them from the other styles, works incredibly well. So, very basic front line of Foot Knights. We got the cavalry chargers performing incredibly well, actually. I had a unit of the Knights of Origo mounted just really do well against some chariots whilst I was cycle charging. It's important to note here that your Knights of Origo do not have lances, by the way. They are sword and board mounted and sword and board on foot, which very good for defensive, not so good for getting all cycle charges. They still perform well though, so keep that in mind. The Legendary Lord is mounted and he is able to do a decent amount of damage. The Legendary Hero is also quite good. You're still fighting against an army that does quite a decent amount of fear. I really did enjoy playing around with this mod. I was playing around with it last night as I couldn't sleep because it's hot as hell at the moment. Feels like I'm actually in Araby at the moment. But yeah, It's something that's kept me entertained. I thought it was really well implemented. It's a really stylized idea, and it's, yeah, stylized after the changes recently to Warhammer the Old World, which I think inspiration like this is a great point for modding like this, right? It's very different whilst also still being the same. I wish that we had more of this officially for Total War Warhammer. There's a lot that Creative Assembly could do with the Bretonnians, but I imagine that unfortunately Games Workshop might not be interested, or maybe because it was a free race it just doesn't work too much. Now, it's important to note that it should be compatible with Lily's Overhaul, because at the end of the day, you know, if you're playing Bretonnians, it's very likely that you are playing with Lily's mods. Yeah, it's just that big. And yeah, compatible with Mixu's Legendary Lords. You'll want to use it well with Overhaul and LUSC factions. It is compatible with the Old World and also with the Immortal Empire's expanded campaigns. So you've got everything there, right? So yeah, let me know what you guys think about this mod in the comments below. It will be linked in the description below. It's always fun to see another Bretonnian mod coming up. I always love playing Bretonnia. I just wish that Bretonnia had some more unique settlements. That's pretty much my only issue. But yeah, have a great day, guys. I'll see you all again very, very soon. Remember that pretty much tonight at 1 AM UK time, it is the Nova Open, which we're going to get some Warhammer the Old World news. If you want to pop by, I'll be live on twitch.tv/TheGreatBookOfGrudges. I'll be playing some World of Warcraft prior to that, and then going to watch Nova Open. If that's too late for you, which is understandable, because it will be like 2 AM my time when it starts, there will be a video with the Old World roadmap reveal coming out shortly after, which I'm going to have a lot of fun. I'm hoping that it's good information, because at the end of the day, that's the setting that I care about the most. And yeah, I'm super excited. I'm super, super excited. But yeah, have a great day, guys. I'll see you tonight, and if not, I'll see you tomorrow.
Lord of Bretonnia!
Paladin of Bretonnia!
Knights of Bretonnia! To victory!
Your command!
Knights of the Iron! A death devour them! We fight as brilliant companions!
Hero of Bretonnia!
To the streets!
Squires!
Knights of the Road!
We serve our liege!
Faith is my armor! Battle call!